This lesson is going to be for week 2, lesson 9 in pre-calculus. So let's take a look. I'm going to be showing you how to figure out whether a function that's given to you is even, odd, or neither. And it can only be one or the other. Like it'll never be even and odd, right? It's either even or it's odd or it's neither one. And here's how you figure it out. If your original function is equal to the function evaluated at negative x, then it's even. All right, and then if the function evaluated at negative x is equal to the opposite of the original function, then it's odd. Okay, so let me, oh, that's real great. Let me see if I can figure out how to erase. There we go. No, that's still not erasing. Okay, well, I guess I'm not erasing. Okay, so let's move this up and figure out whether this function here is even, odd, or neither. So here's my original. Again, I suppose you don't need to write the original one down. But let's figure out what it looks like when I evaluate it at negative x. You always have to check for even first. So if I put a negative in here, and then I simplify that, negative x to the third power is negative x cubed. And here, when I multiply two negatives together, I get positive. So is this even? It is not, all right? And the reason it's not is because, and again, take a look, this does not equal that, okay? That's why it's not even. Okay, so now let's check and see if maybe it's odd. So for odd, I need to compare this. Again, hopefully you can see what I'm circling. Let me undo that, which I already have. This is f of negative x. Is that equal to the opposite of f of x? The opposite of the original function. So if I distribute, I get negative x cubed plus 2x. Look at that. These two are equal. This function is odd. All right, let's try another one. Let me scoot this up. And again, you can always go back in the video to look at that, or you can write it down in your notes. All right, so let's take a look. Is this even, odd, or neither? So I've got the original. It's right here. So I have to evaluate f of negative x. So if I put negative x into the function and I simplify this, the original is equal to this. So this one's even. And once you've determined that a function is even, you don't have to try and figure out if it's odd. It can't be both. All right, so now let me move this up, and let's try this one. So let's evaluate this function at negative x. So negative x squared plus 2 times negative x, which if I simplify becomes x squared minus 2x minus 3. These are not equal, all right? They're close. It's really close, but it has to be exact. And then let's take a look at the opposite. I just wrote that wrong. There we go. The opposite of the original function, which is negative x squared minus 2x plus 3. And those aren't equal either. So this one's not even, and it's not odd. So the answer is this one is neither. All right, now you also have to be able to tell a graph, right? So if you take a look at these actually I'm going to show you one at a time, but if I show you this picture, this first one, okay? I haven't given you the equation. Maybe you can figure it out. But what's most important to know is if a function is even, it has symmetry about the y-axis. Okay, let me write that down. Symmetry about the y-axis. Meaning, if I took a look at this part right here, right? Just that side. If I reflected it over the y-axis, it would lay right on top of this side, right? It's identical on the left and the right of the y-axis. This one is even. Okay? Now, if you're trying to figure out if something is odd, right? If you're trying to figure out if something is odd, it has to have symmetry about the origin. Meaning, if I kind of think of this picture right here as being like a spinner for a game, right? And this is right here in the middle is where the pivot point is. Could I spin this? Like, could I take my finger and flick it and have this point end up right down here and have the picture look exactly the same? All right. If you had in fact, if you have your Chromebook in front of you, you can see how this works. If you pick it up, you turn the Chromebook completely upside down, you'll have the exact same picture. In fact, watch. I think I can do this on my screen. Watch what happens if I do this. Same exact picture, right? I've done a complete rotation and it looks exactly the same. Ooh, that's kind of cool. I like technology. So this one's odd. All right, and then this last graph over here on the far right, it's not even because I can't reflect, right? If I highlight this side, it doesn't look the same on the other side. Okay, so that means it's not even. And if I try to spin it around 180 degrees, like this, that doesn't look anything like the original picture, so it's not odd either. All right, this function is neither even or odd.